What's going on, guys? So a couple of days ago, we had this really interesting forum post that this guy kind of listed like the pros and the cons of most of the updates of Blade & Soul, some of the things that they implemented that were good for the game, some things that they implemented that were bad for the game. And I thought this was really well written, and actually a lot of people agreed with it, over 100 upvotes, which is really great. And I just wanted to share this with you guys, go over some of the key points I thought that were kind of worth talking about, and see if you guys agree about it. So let's go into it. So first thing he talks about is some of the pros that they added to the game. This one right here is premium got better. I definitely agree with that. They did add some things over time that have been really great for a membership user. For example, the third storage option that we have now that you have to have a membership to use, basically, that's really awesome because more storage is very helpful. They've even added things like now you get chromatic thread for a discount, you get stamps so that you can send outfits to different characters. And if you have a 3-month membership, every 3 months you get an appearance voucher, which is kind of neat, honestly. I usually go month by month though, so I don't really get these. Overall, it definitely has been better. Before, really the only good part about the membership was probably the daily quest gold increase that you got from using it. Another really key pro that I have to mention is the raid loot system. So he talks about here how they changed that to the new version, which now you just get a chest and you open it and you choose whatever one you want for your class. So there's no RNG anymore. Back in the day, for example, like Black Tower, the very first raid, or Skybreak Spiral, whatever you want to call it, a lot of my friends actually quit because one of the things that was really hard to get for some reason was the fire accessories. They just like never dropped. And one of my friends was a Fire Blade Master, and I remember he did Black Tower every week for like 5 months, and his freaking fire earring would not drop. And it was terrible that it was all based off RNG. So this was definitely a really great change where they made it non-RNG for the loot drops. I think everyone was happy about this change. This was really awesome. Another great change is them removing the elemental system and adding the awakening system. Nowadays it's way more accessible and easy to switch between builds. It still costs gold and materials, but back in the elemental days, you went like, let's say fire build, you were stuck at fire build forever unless you wanted to spend thousands and thousands of gold to switch over to like lightning build for Blade Master or something. So now it's way more accessible. I feel like especially with the badge swap, it was even better. Unfortunately, they did remove that. Hopefully they do decide to bring that back soon. He also mentions that evolve stones are more farmable in the game now. I definitely have to kind of agree with this. I feel like when they mentioned they were going to make evolve stones more accessible to farm, this was something they talked about years ago when everyone was complaining about it. They tried to add it to like Celestial Basin. It has like a below 1% drop chance. Like it's so freaking low. It's just crazy. And then eventually they did add it to the Midnight Sky Petal Plain boxes. And now you definitely can get a lot of evolve stones if you farm MSP 1 through 6 a ton on the weekend. So I do agree that they have added ways to get evolve stones, but I feel like they could have done a lot better job with doing it instead of trying to just add it to Celestial Basin and then like a year and a half later eventually add it to MSP. Another good change he mentions is that battlegrounds don't crash as much and disconnects don't happen as much. I can't really speak on this too much because I don't really play in Battlegrounds, but I remember when Battlegrounds first came out, like the 6v6 Whirlwind Valley, that one for like the first couple months, all the forum posts and Reddit posts were people complaining about constantly crashing every game, how terrible the disconnects were. I remember people were so pissed off at NCSoft, and come to think of it, I haven't really seen too many posts like that anymore, so maybe they did fix that, and if they did, definitely kudos to them. I still see people complain about the whole pay to win, someone has better gear than you in PvP, or just the constant FPS problems, but I haven't seen the whole disconnecting problems too much anymore, so maybe they did fix that pretty good. Now we get into some of the problems with the game, and this one is a really big one. He's talking about the arena. Now, ever since the Awakening update, I did mention how it was good for the state of being able to swap to different builds. Some of the classes got some pretty cool abilities, new skills, but for the arena, it really screwed it up, honestly. Ever since the Awakening update, the arena has just been in shambles. And don't get me wrong, there always has been some type of balance issues between the classes, but now it's just completely ridiculous. Every single class that comes out has some type of imbalance. For example, the archer class is like one-shotting people right now. Not really surprised because we have the third spec Blade Master CC chaining people forever. All these different classes have really unbalanced specs right now, and I really just feel like with the Awakening update, when they put it out, they noticed how barely anyone was playing the arena anymore, and I think they just said, oh well, F it, the arena's gonna die anyways, because there's no way they would have put this out, and if they actually cared about the arena, they would have been like, wait, this is gonna completely make it even worse. It's just really because the arena has been a ghost town for a couple years now, even to the point where they removed it from being available 24/7 because there's not enough people to even queue up. And don't even get me started on 3v3 tag matches that can take well over 20 to 30 minutes to even get a match. Probably even worse nowadays. And it's sad to see because I feel like the arena PvP was one of the best selling points of Blade & Soul, and it's kind of sad just to see it in such a bad state nowadays. The only kind of saving grace we have is eventually we're going to be getting some type of balance patch where we'll have PvE skills separate from PvP skills. So for example, one skill might do 100 damage in PvE, but in PvP it might only do 50 damage, and obviously that's going to be very weak, but it's going to be balanced for the different type of game modes you're playing. So if you're doing PvP, the damage on that ability will be different than if you're doing a freaking raid boss. And I feel like this is a great idea because it can really balance skills way easier than trying to just like nerf a skill for a class and then it's ruined in PvE and PvP. So this is a really great idea, and I feel like this can't come soon enough. Next thing he talks about is the gearing. He talks about Psyches. Now, I'm really not a fan of Psyches at all. I don't even have any of my gear with it, and I'm like Grand Celestial 9 because I just don't really like the whole grind of them. I find them really boring and just kind of like a lazy design. They've added them to almost every equipment item now. We have it on the soul, the heart, the talisman, the pet, and now Increo has confirmed they're going to be adding them to the badges, and even the soul shields will have Psyches on soul shields. This is just really lazy. I have to agree with them. This is not anything exciting. This is not something like, oh, I can't wait to grind for my Psyches for my soul shields. Even trying to get a full set of purple stones is going to take you quite a long time, and the fact that you can just purchase them from the Hanwoo store for NC coin in real life money, I feel like it's just such a cash grab. Really not a fan of this whole, honestly, Unity system in general. I feel like it's kind of a great way for them to add pay-to-win aspects to the game. I would have been fine if they didn't even add this whole system, to be honest. Last couple of things I want to highlight. Number one is the merchant. He mentions that 85% of the merchants that drop from like Cold Storage or Heaven's Mandate are worthless. I definitely agree with this. It's kind of sad because whenever the Merchant Wonders used to drop in game, I used to be so excited because I'd be like, oh my gosh, he's going to give a great deal. Maybe I can get like 2 Sacred Vials for only like 300 gold. It's awesome. But now when he drops, all he gives is the terrible RNG chest that gives 15 gold. You have to purchase it, and you always get 10 gold from it, so you end up losing 5 gold. Or you can buy like 1 Moonstone Crystal for like 7 gold. Like, his deals are completely ridiculous. They're terrible. All of them are just terrible. And it's just so sad that he's not even worth doing anymore. Most of the time I just skip whatever he has to offer. I really wish they would revamp this and make him worthwhile again. Give some great rewards. Give stuff like purple Unity Stones or legendary Unity Stones from him. Let us purchase it for a lot of gold from him. Why not? I think that would be cool. But right now, it is not good. He also talks about fishing was a good idea, but it's completely unrewarding. And I was one of those people where I actually made a video and I said, will fishing be dead in a month? Because I looked at the rewards and I said, the only reason why people are fishing right now is because it was tied to the fishing event, which gave Sacred Vials and all the good rewards. Once that event was over, I was like, okay, fishing is going to be dead unless they add better rewards. Well, guess what? They didn't add any better rewards, and now no one is fishing because it's completely worthless. The pet pouches that you can buy for the pearls, the drop chance is so low on the pets, it's just completely ridiculous. Everything else is not worth doing. The costumes are ugly. There's nothing in there that is good, and I feel like this could have been a great idea to have something chill to do and get some decent rewards. But right now, there is nothing good in there, and it's just sad that it's just another dead feature in the game. The last thing I want to highlight from his post is the performance issues. Now, this is something that I've highlighted a lot in my videos and talked about all over the community, but I still want to bring it up because he gives some really great points. He says he's deeply afraid that having Unreal Engine 4 next year will be too much of a wait for most people. This is something I've been saying. I've been saying that if we have to wait 2020 spring or 2020 summer for Unreal Engine 4, most of the player base will be gone. People are already upset with the performance. A lot of people have quit over the years because of it. A lot of people have quit now because somehow it's gotten worse. And the point is we have to wait so much longer for Unreal Engine 4, and the fact that it might not even fix all the issues is really scary. Overall, guys, that's really the video for me. I just wanted to kind of share my thoughts on a lot of these points because this was really well written. It had a lot of the pros of the game and some of the cons. I felt like this was a really great job, and I agreed with the majority of his points. Definitely will leave a link in the description to this guy's post if you want to read it all for yourself. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know about these points in the comments below. I want to see everyone's opinion. See you guys in the next video real soon, and I'm out.